There he is. He promised me breakfast.
Oh gosh. It's like the size of my heart.
Dang, that's a big pepper.
Let's go grab some eggs. Breakfast. Can't do breakfast without my ritual here though. North, south, east, west, circle of life. Smell it?
Is it the chicken shit you're smelling?
I'm trying to actually wipe off the chicken shit when I do that. Okay. Oh, the prized possession. Feels that happening. It's hungry.
Call me. They really know what they're doing when they smoke their stuff, though.
Smoky.
Have you ever thought about them smoking some of your stuff? Making some kind of smoked sauce? More
Sounds
than just
good.
like Chipotle?
Maybe we should go check them out. See what we can make happen. Have a smoked hot sauce?
Yeah.
I don't have a true smoked hot sauce either, though.
You got the Chipotle.
It's not true smoked, though. True smoked would be nice. See what we can do.
Yeah.
Let's go check them out. See what we can do.
Don't have anything else to do today.
A few moments later.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Go check this place out. See what they got.
One eternity later.
We're here. Benton's Bacon. American treasure since 1973. Every single restaurant we deal with, every chef we deal with, who do they use? The smokiest of the smokies, Benton's Bacon. We're talking about some hot sauce. We had an idea. We're here. Let's go see if we can meet somebody. Howdy, sir.
How you doing, man?
Good. About yourself?
Beautiful morning.
Hi.
Good to see you, man.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing today, sir? Good. How about yourself?
Good to see you.
I brought you some treats today.
Yeah.
This is for Dad. I got you one too, though.
You're a good man.
Where's the Dad?
Yeah, this is awesome. I think he's in here. Yeah, he's in here.
All righty, sir. So OG, it's the one that's like you're not too hot. You can put it on everything. The next step up is the honey bean. You said you tried the honey bean?
It's great.
It's good, a little bit sweeter. It's
Put
made
it
from
on some wings the other night.
It's made from the same pepper, so it's not too hot, them two. And then you step it up a little bit with Chipotle, and it's not too hot. And then Tabasco's a little bit hotter, but it's not gonna burn your insides.
That's my flavors.
Cool.
The ones that are super hot, I tend to shy away from, but that just adds an incredible flavor to food. And I'm a fan.
The Tabasco it's starting to get a little bit hot, but that's one of those ones where you had a few beers or something and you're working outside and you want something a little hotter and it's like, that's the one you kind of go to.
Light your world up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I will take them and enjoy them.
Enjoy them. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll see if we can share something with you.
Absolutely. Get his chin greased up a little bit.
Yeah. So what we got here?
Man, this is just kind of our front retail space. We got our up front crew. Y'all can come on back. So this room, we kind of do all of our country ham slicing, packaging, you know, great team of guys that we got up here. They also wait on retail customers that come in the door.
Nice.
Ron is breaking down a ham on the bandsaw, cutting up some hocks to pack up and sell. Dwayne over here working on deboning these country hams after Ron breaks them down. Just use a simple boning knife. Pretty much everything in our business is done by hand, of course.
That is awesome.
And there's some things, you know, that I think are best done by hand.
Yes, sir.
So, as y'all can probably already tell, this is a hillbilly operation through and through. You know it as soon as you walk in the door. These two racks right here are all custom cured meat.
Awesome.
So customers who predominantly live around here, raise their own pigs, have them processed, and bring them to us to cure and smoke. We used to do a lot more. This is a much bigger part of the business. So in the early years, when Dad was in it, so many more people raised their own pigs. One Thanksgiving Day, which is traditionally when most people in Southern Appalachia killed hogs, him and my grandfather worked that day and took in 14,000 pounds of fresh pork just from local folks around here.
Nice.
But yeah, much smaller now, smaller part of our volume. My dad, Alan, he's been in this business since 1973.
Yeah.
Business was actually started by a man named Albert Hicks, a local dairy farmer here in Monroe County. Had a small shack, block building over off Old Highway 68 near Sweetwater. Mr. Hicks kind of got into the business by accident. Had always, you know, raised some pigs and cured a few hams and pork bellies per year. He had a friend in town. The friend stayed with him, had some of that for breakfast one day, and he said, you know, I'd like to buy some of this. I'd like to, got some friends and stuff that are interested. And so called him a little bit later. So I'd like to get 100 hams from him. Mr. Hicks said, oh my gosh, there's no way I can supply 100 hams. But that's kind of how he started ramping up and sell a little bit more than he was.
Yeah.
By the spring of '73, Mr. Hicks had gotten on up in years, decided to retire from the business. He had some issues, kind of the curing process. My dad, Alan, grew up in Southwest Virginia. Scott County, his home place is so deep down in the holler, you gotta look straight up just to see the sunshine.
Dang.
Go there today, his original home place, it's about 200 years old, the house as well as the
Still
smokehouse,
standing?
still standing.
Nice.
I'm planning to get that smokehouse, you know, logs numbered, disassembled, put back here on our property, just so we can enjoy it, customers can enjoy it. But it's nothing fancy, so keep expectations low. But pretty much everybody in that holler and the surrounding communities raised their own pigs, cured their own meat. It was a way of life and really a means of sustenance for people before they had refrigeration. So it was a means to preserve their pork and could be a great protein source for them throughout the year. Dad heard that Mr. Hicks had retired from the business. Come on through, Ron. You good?
Man's got to work.
And he knew that it was something that he loved and thought that he might enjoy on a short-term basis. Originally, he thought he might do it for a few years, save up a little money, was thinking he might want to go to law school, do something like that. So he reached out to Mr. Hicks, and Mr. Hicks agreed to lease him that little shack for, you know, for him to try it out of. So that fall in 1973, he got his first fresh hams, put them into cure.
Nice.
Fell in love with what he was doing, fell in love with the people that he got to interact with. Been doing it ever since.
Nice.
He built this location in 1978. As you can probably tell by looking around, not a lot's changed since then.
I love it though, the nostalgia.
Everything has patina from the concrete that's been eaten away by years of exposure to that salt. Smoke stains on the walls, on the ceilings. You know, we look at it like if it ain't broke, don't
fix it.
Process remains unchanged.
So let me ask you this. So
Yeah.
do you salt cure them first and then smoke them, or how does that process go?
Yeah, so we, you know, our whole curing and aging process essentially follows the natural progression of seasons and temperatures that people used to utilize before they had refrigeration.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, people kind of Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia, They would typically kill and process their hogs on Thanksgiving Day. It's a nice cold time of the year back then. So the meat could be outside in one of those simple smokehouses, just an uninsulated log structure. It was like it was in a refrigerator, so it wouldn't spoil. But they would put that meat immediately in cure, typically using salt and maybe some other spices. And by the time spring rolled around and the temperature started to warm up, it was cured and preserved enough that it could just hang at ambient temperature like this stuff in a smokehouse, in a cellar, closet, whatever they had.
Gotcha.
So we start fresh hams out in this cooler. This is the coldest step in the process. This is Thanksgiving Day, kind of beginning, middle of winter.
Nice.
The hams are brought in here. Come on in. They get rubbed down with a mixture of salt, brown sugar, and red pepper. This is some custom cured meat over here, but this is the most recently stuff we put into cure. You can still see that salt. It's not been fully absorbed yet. This is the same family recipe that my family's been using for generations. They get stacked on racks like these, and you can see the others kind of in different stages of this. And they're gonna stay stacked up in here for, a couple of months.
This is awesome.
So winter time, and then we're gonna transition. When they come out of this cooler, we hang them up. And we're gonna move them over to this next cooler, which is more like a late winter, early spring. It's a few degrees warmer, so we're just kind of cycling them through those seasons. At this stage in the curing process, you get a little bit of ammonia released as a byproduct, so it smells a little sharp.
You ain't got to fight the bears, though, in the wild to come get your meat.
So, hams are brought in here. Like I said, they'll hang up, at least 2 to 3 months, depending on the hams. As you can see, we got hams in various stages packed all through here. Got some hog jowls hanging right here.
What part of the hog is the actual jowl?
It's the cheek.
Is it?
So you get over into Italy, they cure it very similarly. Call it guanciale. Makes a killer pasta carbonara.
Yeah.
A lot of people, eat it around New Year's. Black-eyed peas, collard greens, little hog jowl, maybe some cornbread.
We were talking on the way over here about hunting, and I said I mix the hog jaw in with my deer when I ground it, and it gives it that little bit of fat and taste.
Good
and flavor.
idea. We often help out local hunters. Sometimes they'll use fresh pork fat. Sometimes they'll use our smoked bacon ends.
Nice.
Very ends of a slab of bacon. They're not quite pretty enough for our normal packs. Still have all that flavor, a little fattier, go great into a sausage.
Let me stop you right here. So you said you help out local hunters, right?
Yeah.
What about local hot sauce guys?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure we can work out a barter system.
Have you ever smoked peppers?
We smoked a lot of interesting things, but never peppers. Something I'd like to experiment with.
Maybe, or keep that in the back of your mind.
All right, let's work on it. Sounds like a fun project.
Yeah, because I was thinking too, I said, what? Just the acclimation of everything being smoked in here, plus some of those peppers, I think it might make something interesting.
Should have something really special. I like the sound of it. So when the hams come out of there, then they can come to just kind of normal ambient temperature, and that's where the aging process really starts. We cycle these hams through a series of aging rooms. The aging rooms are not well insulated. They don't have air conditioning. In the summer, they're warm. In the winter, they're cool.
Oh, nice.
So you can feel a little bit more heat in here just because it's hot outside.
Oh, yeah.
We want these hams to continue to fluctuate in temperature just like they would have 300 years ago hanging in a smokehouse. Starts to smell like a country ham at this point, too,
sir.
which is outstanding. As you can see, all these hams have a little bit of mold going on. The mold strains in each curing operation like ours, there's only a handful left to still do it this traditional old-fashioned way. Those are unique to that location just like a finger. It's just part of the natural environment, the natural flora that's floating around here in East Tennessee. It was kind of cool.
That's very interesting. People think it's mold is bad stuff a lot of times, but mold is good.
Yeah, and all that stuff, of course, gets trimmed off before it's sliced back in meat.
Very cool. Where it gets smoked?
Yep.
Have we gone there yet?
Not yet.
Okay, I was wondering.
We're actually not smoking anything today. It's very unusual. Typically, at least one of them is going, but just timed it so that everything just got taken out. But I'll still show you the smokehouse.
Always one particular kind of wood? Or multiple kinds of woods? Or just,
Mostly.
Yeah?
We'll get there.
Gotcha.
So we do all of our shipping back here, as well as a little bit of product staging. It's kind of emptied out right now. Mindy and April here run our shipping department. They do an incredible job. They ship this stuff all over the country. Since it's cured, we can ship it just in a cardboard box, unrefrigerated.
That is cool.
Any time of the year. The bulk of what we make at this point goes out, shipped wholesale. Restaurants, markets, a few distributors. In the early days of our business, the first 25, 30 years that my dad was in this, he barely survived, barely kept the lights on and the doors open. At that point, the only restaurants he sold to were a handful of local places, predominantly Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, which at that point, there were only a handful of restaurants up there, looked much different. Touristy kind of pancake houses, that kind of thing. And if they could buy country ham from another larger producer for a few cents cheaper per pound, they would, regardless of the quality.
Yep.
So he was struggling. It's late 80s, early 90s, a local chef reached out to him from a place up the road called Blackberry Farm. My dad had never heard of it. He literally thought it was a farm, might have a little cabin or trailer on it selling some biscuits. But he talked to this chef. The chef had gotten some samples and really liked them. Said he wanted to start carrying our product. He also asked if it was okay if they put my dad's name on the menu.
Oh,
Back
nice.
then, before the farm to table movement, before most people really thought or cared about where their food came from, my dad was a little reluctant because he just had never heard of anything like that being done, but he said yes. It was the biggest blessing. We both look up every day and say thank you, because so many chefs and other folks from around the country and even around the world came into Blackberry Farm, tried our product, enjoyed it, and then ended up reaching out, either using it in their own home or their own restaurant. And it really kind of got our name out there from just being hillbilly sustenance food into that elevated, fine dining, white tablecloth type restaurant. Essentially saved our business and made it more sustainable long term.
Yeah. Every single personal chef I ever deal with uses Benton's bacon. Every restaurant I ever deliver to, Benton's bacon.
I'll tell you what, Dustin, we owe such a huge debt of gratitude to every chef who uses or has used it. Some of them use it in just incredibly
Proudly.
creative ways, and we wouldn't be able to survive without it. So,
Yeah. And they use it very proudly.
we're
Very
thankful.
proudly.
So as you can smell in here, it starts to get a little bit funkier, a little bit more complex. So I told you our typical ham is aged 8 to 12 months. Some hams we age 2 years and longer.
Nice.
Those hams, we exclusively use heritage breed pasture-raised pork, breeds like Berkshires, Durocs, Tamworths, Red Wattles. Those heritage breeds have more intramuscular fat, more marbling, that really lends itself better to that extra aging time. Those are more typical of, like an Italian prosciutto or a Spanish jamon. So people did dry curing like we do, not only in southern Appalachia in this country, but elsewhere around the world. There's what some people call the ham belt, essentially a latitude that spans the globe, temperate climate zones, very similar to what we have here, that are just particularly well suited to dry curing by the seasons. So you get over into Europe, Italy, Spain, France, they do very similar things, even parts of China and Croatia. It's a cool cultural connection and something that we're happy to continue here. So
taste-wise, when you age it longer, it's just saltier?
yeah, the longer you age one, the more intense, the more complex it's gonna get. Most people slice it paper thin.
Yeah.
Eat it with cheese and crackers, wrapped around fruit, like a nice ripe cantaloupe this time of
Like
year.
we had this past
watermelon.
weekend with
Exactly.
that peach? Oh, that
Exactly. The
was the
salad was
best
awesome.
thing I've ever had in my life.
Trevor Stockton of it RT. He's
Oh
an
my
artist.
gosh, that was good.
So this is one of our smokehouses. Typically when you open these doors, smoke billows out so thick you can barely see what's going on. We roll these racks around to show you how we do that, but we can fit about 10 of those in there at a time.
Typical smoking time is how long?
Yeah, it depends on the time of year. So in the wintertime, when the smoke doesn't, when it's colder outside, the meat doesn't take up smoke as readily. It can take an additional day or two, but usually at least a day or two.
Awesome.
So we smoke using all local hickory logs, cut within a few miles of the shop here. We believe that just like in a great kitchen, your end product is only as good as each component that you put into it, right down to the wood. Most bacon you find in your grocery store is done with artificial liquid smoke.
Yeah.
It's also typically, uncured or wet cured, where they inject it with a brine containing who knows what.
Yep.
But we like to keep things simple.
That is awesome.
And I've seen on your hot sauce, you keep things pretty simple too.
Very simple.
Makes a beautiful product.
Sometimes people overcomplicate things, and it just
Let the good stuff shine.
yeah, it's the overcomplication of everything, including life, is it's not worth it all.
I agree. We've got a real fancy smoker. Old wood stove. We pack this thing full of hickory and let it roll. They've got it all scooped out right now, but
So this is the engine that runs it all.
that's it.
That is awesome.
Nothing fancy. Fellas, I told you it was hillbilly.
Hey, I feel at home.